when you read somebody, you're going to see certain blocks and things like that. And yeah, you can deliver the information, but with time, you may want to like support them by processing some healings, helping them out. There's a lot. I mean, the healing world is endless. Like what you're able to do there is like fascinating. Some of you are definitely going to feel more excited about healings than readings, and vice versa. So, and then some of you are gonna like both of them. So just be open to kind of how you're feeling. Some of you will be resistant to this portion because like part of it is like we have to receive healings, and a lot of us like are afraid to receive the healing because we're afraid to what's going to happen. And it's really a process of like letting go, and it's hard to like kind of receive what's on the other end, or you're afraid to know what's going to happen on the other end as you receive the healing. But I find healings to be very helpful. I find them to be like great just to know that we can have them with our family, because you might see that somebody's like struggling in the family, and there's not words for it, or there's not much you can do, but you can send some energy and clear them. If you decide to take on client work, if any of you are coaching, sometimes you can't get through to a person with your words, but if you start doing healings on the person, you can support them through that process. Even just like coworkers or people that you're working with, like there's a way to support them. If like, or right now, if you for instance, like we have, I don't know if you guys have heard about like what's happening in Cuba. My family's Cuban, so we're like watching it, and there's not much for us to do, but we can, if we want to, all get together and send healing to Cuba. And that's it's what we can do from where we are. So it's same thing with like a family member. You see like a family member like really struggling, and there's like nothing you can do, but you can help with the healing work. And it's also just good for ourselves to be able to like constantly clear that energy and all that. Again, there are so many different ways to heal. And I'm just going to kind of start by showing you, there really is no, it's not even like I can teach you like, okay, this is pre-K4 level, and then this is 8th grade level. It's like, it doesn't really matter where you start. I'm just going to teach you like a technique. But it doesn't mean that it's the beginning stage or that something else is more advanced. It's just, there's different ways to enter the healing world. I'm just going to teach you more through like shamanic practices and things that I have learned along the way, or that my guides have shown me. So one of the main things when you're reading chakras, you'll probably see like cords is a lot of the stuff that you're going to see. You may see like, oh my gosh, like this poor person, their heart is like so closed, or maybe the stomach is like, really insecure in the solar plexus. And you're going to want to, let's say you want to do something about that. If you say, I don't do healings and readings together. If I see that like I'm reading somebody, I might do like a little something like a cord release, which is like a very small healing. But for the most part, like you have to come for a second session to be able to get a healing. Some healers or some healer readers, they do healings and readings together, but it'll be like an hour and a half. A good okay. So that so we're going to teach you there's many ways to do healings, but what we're going to do today is we're going to meet in our place of nature with our spirit guide, and we're going to go to the underworld, right? So there is the upper world and the underworld. Underworld is not what's it called? It's not hell. It's just it's like going into the earth. When I heard the underworld, I was like, oh my gosh, see, my mom warned me about this work. I knew I was in the wrong place. But no, the underworld is, and some of you might have already been journeyed to that place. And yeah, what's it called exactly? We had been journeyed, like you might have been journeyed to that place already. You might see like your guides take you down, but it looks like Avatar. It looks like a storybook. It's very whimsical, and like unicorns and fairies and stuff like that. Where the upper world, which is like where the Akashic records are, it's also called the spirit world. The Akashic records is there, and more of your light beings and stuff like that. I guess a little bit more celestial when you go there. That is, I feel like more like it's just like white and technology or something, and this is just more earthy. And some people, you can go both to both places for a healing. But some people prefer usually people prefer one or the other. I just switch on the person, like depending on what, like I go through seasons like that. I'm like, oh, I'm really into like the earthy underworld. That's where I go. And then sometimes I like to go up. So it just really depends. You'll have a perfect personal preference. But we're gonna start off with the underworld because it is my favorite place.